Howdy everyone, John here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 bike rack on our 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now the NV is a very versatile and useful bike rack. It can handle a multitude of different bikes, whether you have larger, heavier, fat tire style bikes or just regular road bikes. It'll be able to handle anything that you take out there for the most part. We'll be going over if this is the right bike rack for your bike and your Santa Fe. Now the reason that it can hold a multitude of different types of bikes is its weight capacity and the fact that it's a front tire hold. Now it has a 60-pound weight capacity that will basically have everything fall in between your road bikes to some of your lighter e-bikes. Some of the heavier e-bikes may not fit on this, but overall it's going to be able to handle most of your bikes. Now, the front is where it makes it where it can handle the rest of the types of bikes that you would be worried about. Since it's a front tire hold, you don't have to worry about it holding down on your actual frame, which with your carbon frames, that's always something to worry about. So it'll be able to make sure that you don't warp your carbon frame bikes, and it'll just hold it right at the base. Now, one of the best features on the NV, which in my opinion Kuat does exceptionally, is the tilt-away. All you have to do is pull on this lever right here. I would hold the bike rack as you let it down. Heavier bikes are going to be a little bit tougher to handle, but it's relatively easy. We're going to open up the back. As you can tell, even with our longer handlebars, we're able to open it up just fine. Get into the back, get our bike helmets, our waters, whatever we need before we head out on the trail. It's easy just to have that go. And then once all the way up, just pushing it back up into place. Now, let's talk about the ways that this holds our tires in place. Now, the first point is going to be this back strap here. We already talked about the front tire hold, but this is very easy to just pop out, and you're always going to want to start with this whenever you're taking off your bike. From there, we're going to go to the front, and it's very easy just to press this button on the front tire hold, push it out. Even if you have big tires, you can still get it all the way through. Then lift up and off. Now here we have the rear wheel strap and the rear wheel holder. As you can see, I always recommend putting it back into place after you've taken off your bike. It is adjustable, so you can move it back and forth. Now, it's very nice that you can move this back and forth because we had on here a 48-inch wheelbase bike. Now, that's kind of pushing it. It's about as big as you would want to be able to go, but the fact that we can move it in and out means that you can put your kids' bikes, smaller road bikes, and then obviously whenever it comes to larger wheelbases, you can handle those as well. Now I do recommend, if you are planning on using this on your fat tire bike, to get the 5-inch fat tire bike strap. This is the 3-inch, so it can handle most size bikes, but fat tire bikes are going to need a separate piece, which you can buy here at etrailer.com. Now, the front hook is very easy to work with, like we showed off before. Just push it down, get that out of the way. Now we're going to look at the front wheel cradle. As you can see, it can handle a wide variety of wheel types. It can handle up to 29 inches whenever it comes to the size of the wheel. Along with that, you can notice that it has these ridges. Now this is good for thinner or thicker wheels, so if you have your fat tire bikes, they're obviously going to take up more space, but if you have your thinner road bikes, they're going to just take up this space right here, so it's going to keep it nice and secure. Now, another great feature that this comes with is that it has an integrated locking system for your bikes. You can just put this around your bike, make sure that it's all safe and secure whenever you're not around it. It is also key-to-like with your hitch pin lock, which is very nice. You don't have to worry about having multiple keys. Now let's get some measurements, because we always have to keep in mind whenever you're driving on the road or you have this down, let's say you're backing up and you're trying to get into a place, whenever you're parking, let's say when you're at the track, you're going to want to know how much room do you have. Now, from the edge of your Santa Fe to the edge of your bike rack, it's going to be around 31 inches, so just keep that in mind whenever you're backing up into an area. Another measurement to keep in mind is whenever you have ground clearance. Now, you don't have to worry about it too much with the Santa Fe, though I would like to give these information to you in case you're going up some steep hills, because always remember, whenever you're going up, it's going to go down. So, as we can see right here, At the very edge, it's going to be around 22 inches, so that's going to be a good amount of ground clearance. At the end, since it does come out from the shank, it's going to be around 12 inches. So just keep that in mind whenever you're driving. Now, obviously, when you don't have any bikes on here, you're going to want to be able to tilt it up. Very easy. The same way that we tilted it down is the same way that we will tilt it up. It's in place. Very easy to put in place. Now, let's get some measurements and see how much does that take off. That's going to be about 14 inches, which is very nice. Now, let's see how close this actually comes to our vehicle. It's going to be about 3¼ inches, so that's more than enough room. As you can see, I can get my hand in there. Don't have to worry too much about it getting any closer because our anti-rattle keeps it from moving any closer. Now, this is obviously going to be different whenever you have a bike on the back of your vehicle. It's going to cover up your back windshield and everything else. But whenever we have it in this position, as you can see, more than enough room. It's out of the way of our lights, our back windshield, and our license plate. Now, the only thing that it may affect is our camera. It's going to just cut off a little bit. You still should be able to see with it, but if you have any problems, you can always just put it back down and then drive like that. Now, in this position, it's going to be a lot more visible than whenever you have a bike on the back because of your windshield and your lights. Obviously, in this position, your lights are completely visible. You can see out your back windshield. Your license plate is visible, but you also have to think about the camera. It may cut off some visibility, so just keep that in mind when you're driving down the road. Now, this is a 2-inch hitch, and it's going to be held in place by our hitch pin and our hitch pin lock. Comes, like I said, key-to-like. Very easy to pull out and then just put on your keychain. It's also very easy to get the lock off, as you can see. And it's actually being held in place less by the pin and more by the anti-rattle mechanism that's inside. Now, the anti-rattle mechanism is probably one of my favorites here at eTrailer. As you can see, whenever we have it in this position, it's very easy to take off and back on. So as we undo it, you can see that it's moving it around. This is just like it's in there just normally. But then whenever you tighten it down, and as you can see, it's very easy for me to tighten down. There's a lot of other mechanisms that we have here that are not as intuitive. As you have it tightened down, it's going to move the entire vehicle whenever you move it, which is crazy. It's very, very tight on there. The anti-rattle mechanism at the end also has an Allen key cutout if you need to get just a little bit tighter for long trips, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, the NV is also going to come with this bike repair stand, which is very useful if you already know how to fix your bike and you just want to be able to pull it out, do a little bit of modifications, and then get right back on the track. This is easy to undo. Then all you have to do is pop your bike in there, tighten it down, and then get to work. Now, this is going to come in 2 different colors. We have gunmetal gray here, and it has this nice orange tinge to it. I really like this design. And then it also comes in metallic black, so you can decide which goes better with your vehicle.
This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then, onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement. Last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway.
Now, what are my final thoughts with the NV on our Santa Fe today? Now, whenever it comes to Kuat, they make some of the best bike racks in my opinion, and the NV is the top of my mind. Whenever it comes to tightening it down, super intuitive, it's very easy to use, and versatile is one of the best things about it. If you can see, tilting away takes no time at all. It looks very sleek, and overall, you can't get much better when it comes to bike racks. And that was a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 bike rack on our 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe. My name's John. Have a good one.